Hello! Okay, I'm back. I'm going to be streaming something a little bit different for 2026, I guess. Not that different from what I usually stream. I've just been on like a trend of doing a lot of fan art and merchandise, but this commission, it's almost the end of the month, so I would really like to get it done before February if I can make it. Today I'm going to be drawing the characters Rorik and Adira from House of Blight. The author's name is on the side over there by Maxym Martineau. They were really sweet and they let me, they gave me permission to draw them because usually I don't draw commercial projects, or, you know, I don't really expose authors' characters. Sometimes they want to do reviews, so lately I haven't really been doing them on stream. But I've been promoting my commissions a lot recently, so I thought it'd be really nice to show off the process, and also I really like this project, so I would love to do more. Let me give a little backstory here. So I've actually drawn these characters once before. I did their portraits. I'm pretty good at portrait sets, so that's what I was found for first. But this time we're gonna do a full body scene. I did something a little bit interesting where I put them together actually, but I also wanted it to be like, I know a lot of authors tend to do, what's it called? Kind of like edits to like promote their book. They'll like use the artwork, but they'll also put like text to explain what's going on. So I thought it'd be really nice to have them separated and then also have a scene with them together. So I picked a pose where they are good separated, and then when they're together, they have something interesting going on. So in this pose, Sorry, I'd like put them together and then I separated because I was working on them separated. Well, no, I was working on them together, but they were on separate layers. So to take photos for Maxym, I separated them, and now I'm like, wait, let me put them back together. I didn't like change their height or anything. I just moved it over. Make sure I get it right. This one? Hello? Yeah, there's a mask. So actually I did this right, except for the face for some reason. Right here. So it's supposed to be like he's grazing his cheek and he's a little bit hesitant, so he's about to stop her. I don't know at what stage I saved this, but like I kind of saved them in between putting them together and separating them. Today is a little bit chaotic. I'm running a little bit late because today's my Monday. And also I was right about to start the stream and then my light wouldn't turn on. I think because there was a power outage or something that it just disconnected somehow. I think something shut off. So I was like underneath my desk panicking for a little bit. Another note. So something interesting. I do have their personalities here. I don't want to give away the story because I think the music might be a little bit quiet because I changed the music, but I might change it back. You let me know. But I searched it up to find it. I'm doing my best not to spoil anything based on like what I've been given. However, the character on the left is Rorik. He's actually he's not a fairy, as the title says. Originally I gave him fairy wings because I kind of forgot this fact, but he's more like a beetle. So his wings should be beetle-like, so I gotta search that up. As for Idira, she doesn't have the ears, if you notice. She doesn't have like the magical fantasy ears. So she's human. But she does have a really cute moth, little buddy. So we'll be drawing a moth today. So if you're scared of bugs, I'm so sorry. However, I'm not scared of bugs, I'm just scared of spiders, so we're fine drawing beetles. Let me search up a beetle wing before I even... as for their personalities... I don't know. Not exactly, like, I didn't get too much about the personality. However, from the references from the other art, she's a lot softer of a character, and Rorik is kind of more moody, broody, kind of more serious, which I gave him. Let me tell you, this facial expression was really tricky for me, this angle. Alright, so I'm gonna search up some beetle wings. I'm not gonna show them on screen because it sounds like it would freak somebody out, you know? So they usually have like a harder layer and then like a soft layer. But we do want to have them like extended. So let me see. How can we do this? Typically, so I can talk a little bit about how I do commissions for authors. Typically, I don't actually have to read the book. And I kind of prefer it that way. But unless they ask me to and they want me to, you know, pick or, you know, find details and things, I'm not that fast of a reader. So for efficiency's sake, maybe it's not typical. But often authors have really like cool creative visual ideas. They just can't do it themselves because, you know, they put their time into their craft of writing. So sometimes people are multi-talented, of course. Not me, I can only draw. Don't ask me to do anything else. However, for that reason, usually the authors give me a lot of information, but like the information that pertains to the specific illustration. But I also like to give them permission to just go for it, because I know if it's your original character, somebody you really love, so please tell me all about it. I can't put in all the details every time, but nice. But they did give me what's it called? Rough idea of the emotions behind the story. But I'm not going to tell you that. You read the book. That's my job, actually, as the artist. I am supposed to make the art look cool, so you want to read the book, right? Actually, this is an interesting wing. Also, a thing that I want to note with drawing like fairy type characters, even though this is not a fairy, but characters with wings, you know? You really shouldn't have it be small. Like some character costumes, they have like the wings pretty tiny. Like I'm talking like here. Oh, that's cute. That's cute and all, but it wouldn't be able to support your weight really unless you have like crazy muscle. So you know when they draw like angel wings, right? They always draw them like massive. Just think of like a bird with wings. It has to be able to carry that torso, that base. The body, the main body. So we wanted to do it like the wings are extended. His leg is extended, partially. Apparently, this is called, we're learning, I've drawn another fairy on stream, and it was also a commission. Again, sorry, it's not a fairy, but another wing type character. Yeah, I actually did finish that one, but I never got to show it off. So, this one I'll try and get as far as I can, and then hopefully on Instagram I'll post it or something. So this is apparently called the hind wing, and then the thing on top is called the elytra. This elytra. We're learning anatomy here. Just not the right type of anatomy, you know? Like, not the human anatomy. Maybe most people want to learn that one. No, we're becoming entomologists right now. For visual case, maybe we'll, like, exaggerate this a little bit. They do extend it, like... It's not like beetles don't lift their... wings. I just want to do it in a way where it makes sense. When I think of beetles, I just think of scarab beetles. Do you know what I'm talking about? I like the super fancy ones. The ones that are always featured in like Egyptian animations. See if I can do this interesting way where it's still appealing. It looks like this part of the wing doesn't actually have to be that extended, and I think I should round it. Here we are. I probably will change the music. I think it is really quiet. I can't really tell. It's good for me, but maybe not good for y'all. Yeah, apparently you can actually have this wing like fully this way. Isn't that trippy? Because this is like above. Like we're looking at the underside, right? He's doing this. How the heck does this work? To think about human anatomy. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? The way that beetles fold up their wings. Also, I'm looking at all the images and I'm like, wait, does it not have to fully be open? What? But I do have to think this is also connected to a human. So like, sometimes I see characters with wings like on their hip like this, right? But it has to be connected to the muscle back there, right? When it's the shoulders, it kind of makes sense. It's like connected to the scapula, so when you like bend your arm this way, you can kind of have a sense of what's gonna happen. But in this case, I'm like, what is this connected to? What are we connecting to, bro? Your back? Separate type of anatomy for real. It low-key looks like a quill. Interesting. See, I'm not a buggy type person. However, if I'm commissioned to do it, I will become one, I guess. The only kind of commission I think I have to decline for real, though, is if somebody really did ask me to design like a spider-like character. I would actually have to decline. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't go into games, right? What would I do? Like, oh yeah. Can you draw Arachne? No, I can't actually. Goodness. Because you still have to look at your references, you know? Like, there's no way. Oh, shot. Interesting. This doesn't look as like... This apparently, like, in bug world, it works. But in human form, it looks weird. I think they would be actually closer together. So I think it has to be kind of tricky. Ooh, maybe this is better. Because now I can logically understand this being connected to the hip here, muscle here. I don't know the back muscles that well, but you know. Hello. The name is fitting. Very party vibe. I mean, technically, I don't have to put that much thought into it, right? Because we're not gonna see it. But like, no. No, my streams always, well, they're supposed to start at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Today was a lot of bit late. I was the one who was late. However, I did not sketch this on stream. This would be a lot, actually. Actually, let me show you. I think I have the whole process. So I actually had multiple poses. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think I can track it, how long it's been. Am I on the wrong thing? I am. It's been 19 minutes. 19 minutes. All right, so I had pose 1, I had pose 2. See, all of them have like their separated versions because I wanted to give the option. We ended up going for pose 3. This is the one. And then number 4, I was like, no, can't split it. It's gonna look weird, I promise. But I pretty much reused the assets. Assets as if this is 3D. But I really like all of them, I think. And then I ended up cleaning up the sketch. But I don't think I have those. And we don't need to see those. Actually, I think this was, oh, I do know, no, I do have it. Hold on. Hello? See, that's, actually, I didn't even clean up the sketch. The sketch that I showed, the poses, that was the last thing that my client saw before I showed these characters. So you were pretty much seeing like, oh, stage 2? Yeah, we're there. We're now in stage 3 and hopefully we'll advance to stage 4. I don't know. Like a boss. Where is my character? Okay. We got it. Yeah. Found him. I found him. We're good. A lot going on. Ooh. Oh. Thank you. I'm so glad you think they're expressive because I definitely did not use the 3D model for them. They might look expressive, but they're definitely not anatomically correct. It's fine though. But then I tried to not. I'm doing my best to balance. We were talking about it last time. I try not to make them too stiff. How am I gonna do this? I wonder. So, Knickknacks likes bugs, right? What did I like when I was younger? I think I really liked anime, actually. So I would like yap about it to my parents, and they'd be like, "I do not care about anime." They were happy that it got me to study some Japanese, though. That was nice. They were like, "Oh, so you can talk to Ba-chan now, right?" I'm like, "Oh." Well, I knew this question was gonna come up, so you should read the title of the stream. I knew it was gonna happen. No, but he's definitely a Beetle-inspired character, it seems. Okay, let me draw out like the. We learned this with the last kind of winged character that I drew. It was more like moth-inspired, like the cells and veins of the wing. I caught you. Hold on, I am gonna change the music real quick. Hold on. Can I find it? It's silent. I'm so sorry. Give me like 2 seconds. Literally 2 seconds. Okay. A little loud. The other one, I think, based on my audio settings, it looked like it was really quiet. But I don't know. You can tell me. If it's too loud, please. As I say that, my internet decides to take a break. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why would you do that? You make me look stupid now. What are we doing here? Don't worry, I don't like working in silence. Okay. But no, yeah, I did feel really... I didn't test the audio, so then I was like, maybe it's a problem. Okay, I found the reference again. We do it in a different color, I think. Give me 2 seconds. I can't see the chat for like these 2 seconds. Huh? What? You know when you look at something from a different angle, you're like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. I don't understand what I'm looking at. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate so I don't have to change his shape. I can't understand what I'm looking at. So I have to do it like this. Okay. But then I didn't want to move his wing because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to place it back. Okay. What the heck is this? What am I looking at? Maybe I should look at a better reference. Maybe like this. Really quick. So fast. So fast. Dude, I'm Sonic. I played one Sonic game in my whole life. Maybe I should make some. Don't know. I don't know anything. All right. Okay, we're getting there. I've been playing Deathloop, right? And every time like an enemy doesn't see me for like a few seconds, they go, "What?" They sound like insulted. They're like, "Where am I? Well, I guess it's somebody else's problem." That's literally what they say, and I think that's so funny. I feel like, she's a murderer. Well, I guess that's somebody else's problem. No, I think you should run, you know? Like, what are you doing? I've just been thinking about that a lot lately. Alright, there we go. We have a wing. Woohoo! See, it wasn't that bad. Ooh, there are a lot of anime out there, and it's kind of, yeah, a little bit overwhelming. I don't think I watch anime as much as people think I do, based on my art style. I mean, I like anime, but growing up, I watched Naruto, of course. Bleach was big when I was in high school. It's above their pay grade. No, for real. It's so funny, because this is a mature game, so if you're younger, please do not be prepared. There's so much swearing in that game, oh my god. However, even I was shocked. I was like, dang, okay, whoa. The concept of the game, I've lost my train of thought, but the concept of the game is essentially like Groundhog Day, you know, when you die, you repeat the same day again. So they're probably like, well, I'm just gonna come back tomorrow, so if he kills me, it's like, that's whatever, man. But also, doesn't that sound painful? I don't think even if I'm gonna repeat the next day, I don't think I willingly am just gonna be like, it's fine. What if it doesn't repeat the next day? You don't know. How would you know? You won't know. So, like, bro. But they are really funny about it. They'll say things like, can I get some backup? Do I gotta do everything around here? And I think it's so funny. Or if they're the only one left, you'll say, Can I get some cover? Who am I talking to? Myself, I guess. And then they die, which is really funny. The humor is ridiculous. Which is why I played it until... So yesterday was my day off, right? And I played it until... You cannot judge me for this. I'm an adult. I played it until 8 a.m. And then I realized it's 8 a.m. Dang, because my phone died, I didn't realize the time. Which probably should have told me that something was wrong. And then that is the real story behind why today's stream was late, because I woke up and was like, I need to go to sleep. I need to go back to sleep. That's too much. I do think it would be funny to anime, but the characters are actually, like, they're so funny. And I can definitely see that the game devs just did not care about giving... So they gave them a reason to not have faces in the game. They gave them all masks, so they wouldn't have to animate facial expressions. And I'm like, you game devs, I know what you're doing, and I fully support it. It's okay. Alright, for the case of me being able to draw them separated and together, I am going to hide her for a little bit. And then I'm going to delete this, add it back later. That's what he actually looks like. Ooh. Do you think his wings should actually be bigger though? You need to do homework! Oh, I also need to do my Japanese homework. Usually I do it before stream, which is why sometimes another reason Wednesday stream ends up a little late. But I did not, so later. Me later. It is Deathloop. It's not that popular of a game, I don't think. But humor is good, so I tried a bunch of different games and then I just didn't match my mood. I tried Metaphor, which is a fantasy game, and it's anime, so you would think, oh yeah. But for whatever reason, it just was not hitting me, right? I was like, you know, I was like playing it begrudgingly, and I was like, I'm just not enjoying it, so it's not worth it. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it didn't suit me. Ooh, The outfit was approved, so I can take it. Oh no. Don't flatten the image. What are you doing? Crazy. We're not out here flattening images? That's crazy talk. I don't remember when it came out. I don't know if it was 2020, 2023? I just remember watching the trailer for it. And I thought, that sounds like an interesting concept. I would play that. It does glitch sometimes here and there. Definitely not a kid's game though. I do need to give that disclaimer once again. Ooh. Oh, I made this bigger, but then I didn't. Okie dokie. I think I'm going to color them both with flat colors. Give them both the same shadow. Then paint them. Preferably I paint both of their faces kind of at the same time so I know which level of quality, I guess. But then everything else... See? It's... yeah. What? I don't have to draw hands if I just don't give the character hands. You know? Noses are hard to draw though. Like, unexpectedly for some reason. I think somebody was talking about it online recently. Okay, let me look at their... I wonder if I can just pull in... So I did a commission for them previously, so I can show you already what the characters are gonna look like in my style because I've done it before. Woo! It's not every client that this is the case. But I can show you because the name is there, so you know who commissioned me. So, okay, it'd be like, yeah, this is it. Where is... I really need to organize these better because it's like not just 2025. I think it's like 2024 is what I'm kind of saying. This the one? Yeah. Reloading. These are the characters that I'm drawing here. We're drawing this one and this one. He was my favorite one to draw actually, but like I'm not gonna say that out loud. But I don't want to show favoritism to a character, but then when I got commissioned him again, I said secretly he was my favorite, so I was very happy. I was like, yay! I get to draw a character I like. So, we already kind of know what the colors are going to be, basically. The rest of the characters, you can see them, but we're not drawing them, so I'm going to crop. Croppy crop. In this one though, I did give her hair. I gave her longer hair. Well, she's hidden right now. Don't worry about that. I wonder if I can do it in a way where I can like... I don't think I have to color pick. However, I would like to look at her face while drawing the other face. That way I can have continuity. However, I do think my art style changed quite a bit, so do my best. Also, he became kind of more macho, which I think he's more soft or feminine in proportion, so I'm gonna try my best. Maybe I'll... Is there a way for me to... There is, right? Yeah, there is. Let's go. My own makeshift reference, and the reference is me. I gotta reference my own art. Ain't that relatable? How did I draw this? I don't know, it was a year ago. Don't remember. Let's see if I can do it. Well, I'll do my best. His skin is almost like white. Like it's really close to white, isn't that crazy? Okay, for this one, maybe I won't go so close to white. Maybe? Like slightly just desaturated. might just be like the lighting made it look super white. Same as usual, I'm gonna fill in the character whole body. That way I can use clipping masks and the like. Might as well just merge these together, right? Do you think it'll work? Of course it won't. Come on, who are we kidding? Alright, I'm going to make it a reference layer. I don't think when I work on my personal stuff or fan art or whatever, if it's, I don't think it's... Hello? Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't think my process is all that different, but the style might be different because of, like, you know, requirements. Like, one, I'm printing on a big size. Usually when I'm working for authors, they want to print like postcard size. They're a little bit smaller. But to be honest, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I saw this, I posted about this. I thought this was crazy, but like in a funny way. There was an artist who posted something saying that they don't have very polished close-ups. Like if you zoom in on their stuff is not actually as clean. Not clean like the super pro manga artists. And their close-ups look so pristine and clean and perfect. And I thought, dang, if your stuff isn't clean, holy cow. I looked at my close-ups and I was like, dang, this person would faint. This person should not be allowed to visit my office either. I am just a messy person. Like, goodness gracious. I don't mind being messy. This is not like, it's not like a good or bad thing. It's like an objective thing. I'm just really messy as an artist. I think it's more like expressive that way. And also because if I polish for a long time, I can tell that I stop liking what I'm working on. So then that emotion starts to translate where I start to like give up. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. You know that feeling when you're drawing something, you don't want to do it? Because you're like, oh, for some reason, I gave this girl hair, floor-length hair. Why did I do that? By the time you get to the end of the hair, you don't care anymore. You don't want to do that anymore. So it's better I just keep it messy the whole way through rather than like polish. Only one part is messy because I gave up. But a tip that I have been told is if it's messy, it's okay, but where you need the main focus, those places should be clean. So the face needs to be clean. The wing, I think, doesn't actually have to be that clean because I think it's glowing and it's far from his face. We're going to be paying attention to his expression, right? So his face should be really clean. Maybe his like shoulder area, like here, up, because that's where we're focusing. I'm assuming his feet are going to be kind of obscured a little bit. And then I believe his wings are also glowing. So that glowing effect kind of like reduces, you know, when you stare at the sun, can you see the details of the sun? No, it's too shiny. So glowing equals less information anyway. Okay. Nice. I fill her in first. Maybe I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna fill in her character as well. Where is she though? There she is. And then, actually, technically, I have a color here. This is how I was explaining, because it was really hard to see with just the sketchy lines. If I send this to my client like this, what the heck is going on, you know? So I did actually clean a little bit. Not really. But this makes it easy for us. Let me pick her. She's also quite pale, I think. But I think she's pinkier. That's a good point. Yeah. Cosplay also has the same rules. That kind of... Yeah. It makes sense. But also... parts with your like limbs and things like that, kind of, they are uncomfortable if you don't sew them well, right? So things that need to fit well, probably. Yeah. They should be important. Oh man, I haven't sewn in forever. I don't plan on doing it ever again. Is this not the same color? Okay, so she's human. Let's give her human skin tone, you know? I don't actually remember if the notes said to make her this pale. I don't know. What's just the story? Oh, no, I think it was a reference because her hair is white, right? So yeah, she is pale. She's like moon colored. It's like very light hair, very light eyes, and very light skin. Also, I don't know how this happened, but I gave her almost purple eyes. They're supposed to be gray. But I might have given her like purpley gray because I feel like maybe because they were so... See, they're kind of close to gray. I don't know how that happened, but I'm just gonna go with... You know what? I can't question past me. I don't know. But also, if the client doesn't dislike it, then we just take it, you know? Sometimes I do miss things, honestly. Or for some reason, like, I probably thought, yeah, no, this is gray, but with color correction, it stopped being as gray. Who knows? Honestly, I don't know what past me was doing. She was living her life, her best life. Ooh, thank you. I don't know if it's very clear, but you know, there's... I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. But when there's like a layer of a dress on top, there is like a little fastener on the side to make it like shorter. Some people do it on both sides, some people do it on one side. And Rorik also, because he's supposed to be more like fancy. I gave him like fancy attachable cufflinks that are like kind of floral or something. He's also gonna have some embroidery on his like shoulder pad thing. Like this area here, I believe is going to be golden. This here is going to be golden, and I think it's going to be kind of like, you know, extending some dark embroidery. Yes. Yeah, see, if people don't notice who's... That's all that matters. Going back to the commission logic as well, this is the main rule when working with commissions as well. The artist is pretty much never satisfied with her work, right? Or in this case, it's me. It's always like, yeah, I'm finished, but I'm not sure. But that doesn't matter. It's only like, does the client like it? That's literally the only person that matters. Like, does the client like it? Cool. But move on. Basically, you can't get super like, in detail with every single thing. Okay. Make sure that this... I have a feeling some of these things are going to move as well. So it's actually kind of convenient to not draw them together. But also in general, I think it's better not to draw the characters fully together if they're a couple like this, because it's kind of... many things move. Like, let's say I draw her hand wrong, and then his face is right there. Ugh. Imagine having to redraw a face and a hand? Oh. Brother. Bro. I don't want that. I bet they sell these like in modern day, this kind of fastener thing. It's probably really cool to add to like actual outfits right now. You can also use it if you're biking. I have seen some people who wear skirts, long skirts, but want to bike. They can like fasten it in the middle, so then their skirt doesn't go flying while they're biking. It's very comfy. Technology. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not very good at respecting my own time. So this is a rule that I put in place. It's actually my partner who's very like straightforward about it. I went up to him and I was like, "Do you think this is done? I'm not sure if it's done. Do you think I need to clean it more?" And he's like, "Well, does the client like it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I think so." It's like, okay. Kind of the client's responsibility to say something. Oh. I'm sure they make them. They also, this cufflink thing, I saw it as a modern thing. I don't know what they're really called. Like cufflink attachments. I'm gonna show you what I was actually thinking of doing. Because they're so cute. What are they called? Cufflink decoration? This is kind of the thing that I'm talking about. I don't exactly know how to search it. Oop. Like all the things, huh? I have it. I have it. Trying to find my way over here. Okay. This thing. It's like a little clasp you can put on the button and then flip it. Because otherwise it would not work, right? You can't close a button that way. You wouldn't be able to fasten it. But these are cool. Ooh. Cosplayers can find everything, you know? I was always fascinated when I was going to like a sewing supply store or something. Just find some crazy things that I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. She's way too dark. Next to him. What is happening? Did anything happen? Did anything happen? Did anything happen? Hello. Hello. Okay, whatever, sure. This part doesn't have to be that clean, because I'm gonna paint it anyway. Her shoe is not actually square. I just did it square because I couldn't understand. Feet are weird. You know? Ooh. I do think it's a pretty concept. I'm glad that I came across it. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. I'm probably just gonna paint it. It's like this little moth over here. This little guy. It's such little detailing. Because you can't even see it, but like, it's a little moth. Just a little buddy. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to do... Oh, you're not put together. This is true. Sewing and hardware stores both. They have... for me, it's Japanese stationery stores. Dude, I could stay in there forever. The other day, I could tell me and my partner are kind of getting... We're really boring and old. We were looking at like an Instagram covering different stationery products and ones that have won awards and things like that. And we're like, oh, that's so clever. That's so good. I want that stamp. For what? I don't know what for. But there was one that was like a file organizer pencil case type thing. And I was like, I don't know what I need it for, but I need it, you know? I need that. It's something for my artist alley booths. I will somehow bring it just so I can organize everything. I have never needed to, like right now my stickers are organized in like a trading card folder situation, and I'm like, I don't know We could get better. We could get more efficient. I don't know, it's very nerdy. I could get efficient. Okay, here's character 1. Here's character 2. Here we go. Now we're finding. I think everything else can go away, right? What's happening back here? Oh! Yeah, goodbye, sir. See ya. I did use a 3D model to polish afterwards. It was just I didn't use a 3D model to figure out the pose. That wouldn't work. There we go. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah. I don't use stationery that much. However, I have like a pen that I bought, like Sakura Micron pens, the fine liner pens. I bought them like when I was like, I don't know, 15 or something, 16. They're still good. So and those things have lasted like over a decade, man. I'm like, how have they not run out? This is crazy. Craziness for real. Okay, I'm gonna try and figure out which color works for this setting. Because I also don't know how did this happen? Huh? Huh? Eh? What? Ah, okay. Oh, I was like, what's going on? Silhouette check, I guess. Unintentionally. Okay, I'm gonna explain this for a second. Maybe I should work on their background for like 2 seconds because I don't know what lighting's happening here. But they're also allowed to be separated from the background. So I can't do something like, oh, it's nighttime, you know? That wouldn't work very well. Let me see. I want to do something following their action. So mine has the option. I can use the background, which will be separated. Or I just give one version with them in the background, you know? I'm gonna do some motion. I'm thinking, you know, shoujo anime, kira kind of vibe. But also he's going to be wearing dark clothes and she's going to be wearing light clothes, so we have to silhouette a little bit. I think it makes more sense to put... How is the lighting going to work? There's 2 ways this could go. Let me draw it out. So we can do the lighting like this. Should have done this in a light color. Where the shadow is here and here. So the lighting is like getting them this way. And then this would kind of be in shadow as well. I'm just gonna draw it. Man, how am I gonna explain? We're going to test. To be honest, I feel like I reuse the same lighting every time. I don't know. So I know I need to practice depending on the vibe. But lately I have been switching the lighting. So not every time. This looks a little extreme, but eliminate, figure out what the heck is going on. This lighting kind of doesn't make sense. More like this. So they're kind of being like lit directly from the front, right? But it's kind of like studio lighting, right? It doesn't feel like. Attempt number 2. Let's see. Another thing is the light is. She's a very light character. I feel like she's hopeful and he's moody. So I was thinking maybe it's like she's the one who's well lit. And then he's going to be darker because also he has a backlight here. This is also lit, this part. But he'll have a secondary lighting. So because this hand, I don't want to detail that. I don't want to do that. Too much work for no reason. Alright, lighting going this way. This way, huh? Huh? What? I confused myself. What? So she's like this. There's gotta be a shadow of her on him. The light is her way, right? Right? Right, everyone? I know what I'm doing. No clue. Okay. We do have a 3D. I did learn this. Apparently you can use the 3D model to figure out the lighting as well. And I was like, dang, we're probably gonna have to figure that out, huh? But I was saying it last time as well, where I think it's like, I don't know what the concept is called, but you know when you're doing a test and then you study for the test using like flashcards, if you immediately search up an answer because you don't know it and you don't give yourself the chance to recollect the information, you actually do worse. Rather than if you force yourself to try and remember it, you do it better. I'm gonna try and figure it out my way first. Use to the max all the information that I know. Do it really bad. And then I give myself the chance to search up the reference. Because even though this is for a client, it will impact everybody efficiency-wise if I cannot learn how to do it. Everybody, including the stream, okay? Everybody watching as well. I think I like this concept better. I do think the lighting is a little bit whack right now. Like, I think this is more like kind of off, but you know, I think, I don't know. Bleed. Okay, so now that I figured the placement of it, I'm gonna have to replicate that essentially on them individually, and also figure out the background to know which color it's going to actually be, because that is going to impact the colors I choose. Ooh, everything has a meaning. Ooh. So clearly there's an action going this way, so I'm going to do that. I'm starting to get more messy with it in like an expressive way with the backgrounds, because I think in the past I thought, oh, if I do a background, I have to actually like draw it, you know? I have to actually do it well. I have to figure out how to do it. And then that just limited me from doing it at all. Because I hated it. So. Alright. We got this going on. Do I know what that is? No idea. Okay, well, I lost the... I should probably do this with a textured brush, huh? Yeah, probably. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've actually been doing some collabs, right? And at least for like the later half of 2025, I was doing some collabs with other artists, right? And I actually learned some tricks on how they do their commissions. Like, how do they not take shortcuts, but how do they approach maybe like, you know, a simple commission with no background? How do they put something so it doesn't feel so empty? And I think what we're gonna have to do is add some like sparkle. Concept wise, I'm not hating this. However, I am not liking that the darkness is on one side versus the other. I think it makes sense the other way. Real quick. Let me do this with brushstroke instead. Terrible brush. Nah, maybe we should get a brush, you know? There's gotta be something for us. There's something out there for every person, you know? That's... Look at that load. Look at it load. It's still loading. Notice how my pen is not on the screen. I think it might have broke. Oh no. Oh no. And we're not gonna use it. Also, because this brush, it looks like it's struggling. Goodness gracious. Oh my god, these big brushes, they can't handle my power. So we're not doing it this way because that's ridiculous. We're gonna have to... doesn't really have to make sense background. It just has to work. It just has to frame them. It's obviously not gonna be this crazy orange. Just see what the heck. This can't be here because this moth, you won't be able to get rid of. I mean, no. We're just having fun, you know? We're really, this became an art class for preschool just now. But sometimes, hey, what can you do? You're figuring it out. I also want to kind of capture this like emotion. So they're yearning for each other, right? If it wasn't obvious, they want to be together. That's the kind of vibe. Want to be together, but as every good romance, there's something in the way, right? Have you ever watched a romance where just nothing happened? There was no conflict? If you have, name it now, because I don't think I have ever seen it. Don't we like the previous version better? I think I did. It's a little bit too sharp. I'll go back to... I did. I think round and... Oh my god, where are we going? Do it in a way that frames it. Kind of looks like his wing, right? A little bit. So we are using same shape language, which is cool, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hopefully it works. Maybe don't use it. Better, right? I can't have it. Ooh, you see it? What I'm talking about? Problem here? If you've watched me long enough, probably you know what I'm gonna say. That I don't like. This right here. This line is just perfectly just matching. The heck? Weird. It's getting bad. I see other artists do it now, and I'm like, oh, man, I can't unsee it. Looking at it, and I see it. It's kind of unavoidable. This looks insane. But I think it's gonna look cool. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out together. You're gonna witness me figure it out. What was it before? This? Alright. So his side is the side that's dark. I brought the orange back. Hmm? With color? We're really just going for it, you know? A little bit too dark, that's a problem. Okay, all right. Are we getting somewhere? I don't know. It doesn't. I don't feel like Bob Ross right now. Let me tell you. Whoa, hold on. There is something about the story that apparently she can see white thread. I believe. Yes. Something like that. You can see invisible threads. Or perhaps incorporate that in. No. Make them almost invisible. Or hear me out. Ooh, see if I can do this. I'm gonna draw them in and then it's becoming something. So my thinking is like if she can see like almost invisible thread, why not have it like the thread is telling the story kind of? And it's his wings that it's drawing in the background. The previous illustration, she or Maxim pointed it out, but then there was no way for me to add it to the artwork itself. It was just a portrait. But here we can play around, you know? make this even more like. Then it's like reflective down here. Not perfect, the background. I probably have to go back and clean to make it look cool. And it's kind of abstract a little bit because can't really replicate 100%, but the thing that I wanted to try was like little glowing spots. I've been experimenting lately with making my stuff more dynamic, so maybe I'll try to make them closer to us. Do I do that? Do this separate layer? Now this part is optional. So like, I think I have a little bit more freedom because they can later choose and be like, well, it's not really my vibe. Hold on. I think maybe we can add something here. The character that I'm drawing, Rhaenyra, they work with herbs. She works with herbs. So herbs, leaves, petals. So maybe we make these more petal-like then? Or leaf-like? Like little magical leaves. But like vaguely, just very abstract. Rather than like glass. And they're like going to be kind of motion blurred anyway, so. Something like this. I like that. Okay, great. For the time being, we're gonna call this not really do add glow on top. all this rough background, and I'm going to do a really quick color adjustment to make sure that the colors work, and then I'm gonna be able to I feel like it's been a very convoluted process where I'm like, I'm gonna color them, but hold on, let me figure out the background. Okay. Okay. We're at a light show now, everyone. Would you like to see the aurora lights? Wow, isn't it entrancing? Isn't it? Wow. You see how the colors are fading toward the left? Almost like close to the subscribe button? Wow. Like it's drawing you in? Maybe? Alright. I don't know if I really wanted to change the color necessarily. I think actually the color might work. I think it's just I want to make it darker on one side. This is what changed it for me. Before I was like, I'm not in love with this. And then afterwards I was like, wait, I like this. Hold on, hold on. You just need to tint everything in my life pink and then I'll like it apparently. I want to shift this part. Maybe I'm inspired by the weather outside. Make it almost like ice. Maybe just shift everything up a little bit because right now it doesn't look like they should be standing. Okay. Like Rourke's foot is kind of not there. Like, if this was an actual plane that he was standing on, he would fall over kind of vibe. That's what it gave me. Loading. I did see somebody give advice on if you're struggling with a background, part of the reason maybe that the characters don't fit with the background is if you have like background elements and they don't go in front of the character. So for example, it's like windy with like, in this case, we have like some glass leaves. I don't know what's going on. Glowy leaves flying about. If I only put them behind the character and don't bring them to the foreground, then it looks like almost like, oh, this is just like one of those backgrounds that you just, like in a video game, this is just photo mode, you just put the background there, it doesn't actually match anything. You. What the heck? Liquefy tools saving our butts. Yeah. Finally. Oof. There we go. And ironically, the color that I picked fits. Great. Alright, now we're gonna make it like they're 3D. Finally, we're there. Thank you for being patient. At least you saw something happening, right? Sometimes it looks like nothing is happening. We established this is kind of the vague idea we're going for. Now we do it carefully. Nose would be lit. This part of the nose wouldn't be that cast in shadow, but I'm going to leave it in shadow so later I'll blend it. These horns. So he's being lit from her side, right? Her direction. But then she has to cast a shadow. I might reduce how much of a shadow because they are also supposed to work separated as well. I just realized. Probably kind of important. Which is okay. I should have done this with a mask. Oh well. Too late. I'm just gonna read it like this way. And if she's missing, there you go. Maybe I should shift the lighting a bit. To the middle. This might not logically make sense, literal sense, but for art reasons, because we're going to be putting them together, I'm going to add a shadow behind them as well. Even though they're being lit from like this side here. Fade this part here, so they don't look so awkward when they're put together. There we go. Here. And like so, he is shaded. Before, after. He has chateau. Now, he kind of has form. Kind of. Some line weight couldn't hurt the guy. But he'll get some. It's her turn now. She looks really dark, but that's just because her skin tone is darker than his. Alright, she is mostly lit, and because she's in front of him, we don't have to really worry about him. Luckily, I think because the light source is a little bit further away, if the light is like really close, the shadow is going to be really strong, and then the shadow on his chest would be crazy strong. But because her arm is not super light, then it's, I think. Otherwise, it looks weird, you know? Like, you can't put your finger on it, but you know something's kind of thing. I'm thinking because her feet are just lower, I'm not gonna add that. Now I'm going to shade the parts further away from us, again to make them not look awkward either. Blendy. And then for the moth, yeah, I didn't do any detailing on that, so I'm sure. They shade that much. We don't know what's gonna go on there. Okay. Nice. Now it's time to finally add color. Oh my god. Took forever, but we're there. But to be honest, the background was probably more fun than me placing the flat colors because we already kind of know the colors, and also Rorik is going to be wearing more dark color. I don't know how I shifted down here. Rorik is going to be— you're not Rorik, you're Rorik. Going to be wearing more dark moody colors. So we're probably going to work with navy and no, honestly navy, because his wings I think are like a yellow-orange. Probably that's the better route to go. And then I get to go and paint. But as you can see, they're pretty clean already, so it's like not... like it makes sense for me to work on this stuff that's like really not finished at all. Now we're gonna get to the part that we need to. Similar to how I did it with my previous characters on stream. So this is a full layer. This is actually attached to all of the layers in this group. So I'm going to do the flat colors, and they're going to be affected by the shadow already. And then before I merge everything, I'm going to give some color variation. So when I do paint, I will have a bunch of colors to a little bit more. I don't know. Looks like really red. We'll add some extra red afterwards to make it look colorful. I don't think my characters typically look like the character that I'm drawing until I start painting. Like, I can see his face is not the same, but it's not that big of a concern at this point. Okay, she needs to take a little break because I can't see her. So also I'm going to make this line. I could just use black, but I think based on the background. But we can use black in areas we really don't want to detail. But also navy and gold looks so good together, so I went this way. Every time I change color, I have to try and shift the hue. I might actually give him almost the same colored. Just black with like gold fixtures. For the wings, I don't want to go too bright because I'm still gonna lighten it. What's it called again? The hero? Yeah, that seems to make sense. Or like maybe in the realm of his skin color, so this, or hair color, so this is like a really dark brown, as opposed to like a cool brown, a cooler color that almost looks black, because then it seems more unnatural. But we can add some blues to make it fitting for this character. On top of that, I think if we pick a color that's like warmer, it separates the other colors from him a little bit, from his skin. I didn't forget his hand, I saw it. He's not wearing gloves. No. This we're not going to detail until much later, just so we can see the separation. Honestly, probably should not add these small pieces right now, because if I add them now, it'd be a pain to load them in. This, so I know what color it is. For here, though, I literally can't see it, so like I am going to give myself a hint. Maybe or sparingly, because now I think it takes attention. Yes. There he is. So just for vision's sake, just remember he's gonna have like a gold cufflink. Gold here. This is also going to be having a little bit of gold embroidery. Something. So he'll look more like this. Yes. Before I continue, we're going to color in his individual colors. Give it some interest. Like right here. Because I can't understand what I'm looking at. I'm going to lighten it. And for his wing, I think I'm going to add some blue element so he doesn't feel so detached from everything. Here, I think we're adding some yellow. And it warming it up a little bit more. For his band. I'm also kind of blending the colors from the background in so he looks like he actually belongs where he is. His hair, add that little bit of red that I had to remove over the top. It's very subtle, just like. I also forgot to add like a literal lighting, so we have to do that. There's his colors. Her turn. Her hair is essentially white. But I can't just like use pure white. Won't really read. Go with like blue, and then when I highlight and everything, it'll become more white. Her shirt is also white. Here I'm going to change the tone of it. Not that it shows up really. We might have to, just for her, I think it's a little too strong for her. Really like hard to read her colors otherwise. For her skirt. Double check what. I'm gonna give her pink brown boots because that sounds cute, and I want them, so she's getting brown boots. There you go. Cute already. So in the story, she does have a soft skirt and a matching burgundy bodice with embroidery on it. However, in this case, I don't think she's wearing the same kind of outfit. We can use these colors like a guide. Warmer colors. Like, so if we're doing burgundy, okay, maybe that's a little bit too. Because this is not technically a corset. It is a corset tied like waist, but it's not necessarily a corset, I guess. But also make this a different color. Maybe more close to like beige, because that would maybe draw less attention, but also blend it seamlessly. Because there's a lot of white going on. Also, I was thinking that she would also have a gold button over here. This button here is going to be gold. Originally, I was going to make her have like ties over here, but then it felt like really busy. Then I could have made her have a tie over here, but then so we're just keeping her simple. It could be darker. Yeah, she was a lot simpler. Little moth friend also is not painted, and that I'm going to do at the end, but I'm going to do the same thing. This is going to look messy for a second. Add some variation. Also, I'm going to blend his colors into hers a little bit, so it's like they are standing together. Even if that doesn't really make sense, because it's not like the most reflective colors, I think it's kind of symbolic in a way too. Where it's like, oh, they're together, so they kind of blend into each other. I don't want to make it too dark either. Like this. For her hair, maybe? Find a way to make it look more white, essentially. Without having to figure that out right this second. Okie dokie. And... okay. Bam! All together now. Okay, there was a step that I did miss. Kind of important. They don't have lighting. They have shading. They don't have any lighting. Kind of a tricky situation. So... I should save. Now that I've got their colors, I'm going to put them aside for a little bit. Ooh. Take some warm lighting. This. What do we think? Oh. Maybe this looks like lighting? Does it look like light? Now he's really pale, so it's like his face turns white. It's kind of fine. Kind of ideal, actually. Right, we wanted this part to be a little bit shaded. Lighting over here. I made it a little muddy. That's not how it works. Just because you don't want to figure it out doesn't mean you can make it muddy. Your brain just went on vacation there. It was like, I don't want to figure that out. So let me just not and just autopilot blur it out. I would probably fade out that arm anyway, so it's... Yes. Your turn, madame. What color did I use? Already forgot. This is why I like using the mask. Like, I don't remember what color I even used. All right. This made it look metallic. Okay, I always explain it when I draw anything metallic. I'm like, the higher the contrast, the more shiny it looks. Yeah, this looks like really shiny. Whereas like the contrast is not going to look so light on the white because it's already didn't make it look metal. I am going to reduce her light as well because I reduced her shadow. I'm going to reduce her light because dang, it's so bright. All right. Before I continue, let me add some blush because bro has no color in his skin. If you want to leave the house, you gotta at least put some blush on. People are gonna start accusing me of not... of actually just stealing your blood, to be honest. That's what they're gonna think. You know how your mom will say, they're gonna think I don't feed you. That's how I feel about these characters. They're gonna think... What are they gonna think? Alright. That's what I say to my dogs, actually. They're gonna think I don't feed you because they're always like jumping to eat some random nonsense. I feed them. They also want a snack for some reason. Even though I usually have treats with me, so it's like, why? Why? My treats ain't good enough for you? Alright. Now, save. Oh my god, save. And then, I think I'm gonna have to figure out the line art. And then, not literal line art, I'm just gonna have to figure out this sketch, like how am I gonna put them together, and then I start painting. Because that looks like ridiculous. That's craziness. What if I do it 3 times though? Is this soft light anymore? It's hard light, right? Because if it's soft on top of soft on top of soft. Wait, it worked. Soft light and hard light together. What the heck? Nah, just hard light. Just hard. We'll just keep hard light. That's fine. This. And your turn, sir, even though your colors are dark, so really it's not gonna do that much difference. Except for your face. You can have 2 hard light layers. You can be special. Alright. Save. In fact, I'm gonna save this as a duplicate because just in case something goes horribly wrong, I will have their base. This is something I hate. What if I change the name? It doesn't change the name of this file. It changes the name of the previous file. So, or it makes a new file. So then, if by accident I press save, I now have 2 of the same. That doesn't make any sense. They don't make any sense. Oh, I saved it as a PNG? That's cool. How does this happen? Hold on. Save as type, Clip Studio. But it still does the same thing, right? You can see it, like the name is still... That's just ridiculous. See, now I have 2 of the same. That don't make any sense. Anyway. That way, if, let's say, the client doesn't like the colors, we can... Now she's together. He's together. How he looks on his own. How they look together. How she looks on her own. Yeah! Hair is driving me nuts. Okay. Alright, are we ready to start painting? Are we ready? I hope so. Well, his face looks like the most difficult thing to paint. I'm going to start with his face. And at this point, I am going to pull his face over here. Next to what I'm working at, because I need help. And help. But I might rotate the artwork so I can understand. Rotate, flip horizontal, please. How did we end up over here? What the heck? Alright. They're in completely different angles, so, you know, such is life. I did look up a reference while drawing this, but honestly, it was kind of difficult. So, especially in sketch form. I drew this face like 3 different times. So let's see if I can get it now. I'm not erasing the actual layer, but I am going to use a mask just in case I... Is he a fairy? I don't know. I feel like we could read the title. And if you're trying to troll me, I'm on to you. The tricky angle. Now, why did I pick such a tricky angle? That's the Google. Not only like I'm trying to get the angle right, I also have to get the likeness right too. Oof. Oof. Challenge. Like this. I think it's actually my like what's it called? Is it my most recent? Is it? My most recent reel was me drawing the Furin angle. Versus this angle is like the Furin angle but slightly to the left. You know, like it's slightly tricky. I might get the angle, but then it might not look like him. So then, challenge. True challenge. You just saw it? Yeah. I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't watch Freerin actually. But then all of my mutuals were doing it, and then I got like FOMO. I was like, wait, but I want to see if I can do it now. And so, that's the story. That's a very short story of what happened. His chin is actually quite short, but because we're looking at him from this angle, one of you must have the element. One of you must have the element. One of you took it, right? I don't know which element it is, but you have it. Give it back. He's supposed to, you know that scene in Bridgerton? There's a character who's making this expression. kind of trying to do that, but at an angle. Why? I don't know why I chose this angle, man. Close, I think. I have the original, I think, so we can compare it later. This side is more shaded, actually. This part is the part that confuses me the most, because I'm like, how am I supposed to draw this part? I remember when I checked a reference, it was not as exaggerated as I made it. But it still was tricky. It says hooded eyes, huh? So I'm like, would we see his eyelid? Thinking I should make his eye bags darker. Well, because that's another thing that's gonna make it look like him. But I just added a shadow rather than actual dark. Happens every time that their face gets smaller. How does it happen? I don't know. Alright. The ears also play a big part on a head angle. If the ear is in the wrong place, then you can't understand the head angle, actually. Weird. I don't understand how that works, but that's just how it works. Or your big-headedness, I need to real quick realign, decapitate and realign. Crazy surgery to have, huh? Okay, it's beginning to look weird to me because we're looking at it from the wrong angle. But like, kind of? I think we kind of got it? I don't know. We're gonna find out when I flip it. This eye, I don't know if it's right. This eye! I think his nose might be wrong. Like, it might be wider. His lips are definitely not this pronounced. Alright. Flip him back. Whoop. What he was, what he is. Ooh. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Or did I change his head angle? From afar, like from up close it's not that bad actually, but from afar I think there's something happening where it's like really hard to read the lighting and it's confusing us. From this point on, so maybe I have to simplify. What? He also has less shadow here. Less than I gave him. His head too small. Still, it's a tricky because I'm doing a full body. The face is not like the whole focus, it's like the whole scene. However, sometimes I swear I make the head bigger just because it's hard to see. I can get away with it. My art style is kind of not that realistic. So big head, just to be expressive is okay. Alright, sir, once more, I just gotta remove your head and put it back on. Get your head on straight, man. Okay, also I made him a giraffe, so that's crazy. Yeah? I think this now is the thing that's using. But this should be straight. No. No, it shouldn't. I think it breaks. Right, this side is getting more shadow. This wouldn't have that sharp of a shadow. It's like really dark. At his under eye. Too dramatic for him? Be more like this. Did you see any difference? I didn't. This angle, so we think his forehead should be shorter and his nose should be... Everything should shift up a little bit. Even this horn, I wasn't really sure about the angle. Not exactly. Now what I'm not sure about is this hair. I feel like it could be... Alright, in the interest of keeping them balanced together, I'm going to do her face next. I'm doing the hard part first, essentially. Because after the face, that's the most important part, right? But after the face, and I'm like, well, not perfect. Yeah, this is also a problem. He's kind of not looking at her, huh? It's kind of not good. Well, we have to fix his eye color anyway, so... If I add his eye color, will it, like, solve my problem? Is he looking at her now? Almost, right? Almost. Okay. When you draw something hard and you finally do it. Yes, I did it. Yes. I believed and I managed. I don't know if her face will be easier, but I hope so. Her face is over here. I should do the same thing, huh? Do it on a new layer. It was horribly wrong. I have confidence, but also, do I? Go. This is how I typically figure out this shape. Her in comparison to him, like I put so much effort into figuring out her face. I mean his face because the angle was so tricky, but actually they're kind of almost the same angle. So I was struggling for so long that the base of his face is actually her face. I copied it, flipped it. Because for some reason I could not draw on the opposite side for whatever reason. I don't know. I tried like multiple times and I stayed up so late. This was the last project that I was working on before I went. Like it was my Friday. So today's my Monday, right? So essentially I had one day off. This was the very last thing that I drew. It's a little bit too dark. From afar, I think I need to simplify even. Yeah. Try that again. At first you fail. Wait, what is it? If at first you don't succeed, try again or something. Made her very like fresh-faced, very young-looking, youthful. You ever notice that about some people? Like some people, their faces look like they were made for a certain age. Like some people, they look like when you see their mature face, you're like, yeah, you look like you've always looked like you were. I don't know how to explain what I mean, but there's some people who look so youthful that it's like, you know what? That face suits you. You have like a youthful vibe. But when you were a kid, that probably really suited you. Same with names, honestly. If you have like a really mature name, it's like seeing a kid named Margaret and being like, that does not suit you. It's giving not human. That's not human nose at all, is it? Ooh, okay. Spirit, you would be a very adorable cat. However, that's not what we're going for today. Oh, I also gave her downturned eyes to make her look like more approachable, soft. Versus Rorik, I gave him quite upturned, like, they're not upturned actually, they're straight across. But it felt like very sharp. As her nose is like shorter, and we're looking at her from an angle, I think it would be even shorter. And then it also makes it easier for me to fix her lip because I think there's space for her lip. She doesn't have high cheekbone. These gray eyes. If I can do that for this. I still ended up purple. What the heck? How light is color? He's supposed to be more well lit than he is. Use a shadow on this side. The nose can be in shadow. Nose. Wondering from this angle, would you be able to see this side of the nose? Here? Right here? I feel like no, right? Noses are why? We just breathe through them. We don't eat through them. I feel like mouths should be the thing that's more complicated now. What the heck? No, you know what's really complicated? Ears. Ears are really, really complicated. And very delicate, apparently. Mess with those? Ooh. I'd be dizzy. I think her angle is actually not wrong. Versus with Rorik, I feel like I was trying to make his angle correct. With her, I'm just trying to make her face look like her face. Like, I don't know if it necessarily looks like her yet. Like, girl. Originally gave her like a weaker chin. It's a smaller chin, shorter chin. Maybe her angle is kind of wrong. A little bit. really is just like it's like an artist's most difficult task, I think, to make a character look like a character that you drew. Oh! I don't know why. Just like the most minute change like makes it look completely different. Unless you have a very simple style, then probably. The more details you got though, the more details you can get wrong. I think her ear kind of isn't. This girl has a crazy long neck, by the way. Right now. I'm not saying that the character actually does. I'm saying the way that I drew her. Dang. Dang, girl. Good posture, I guess. And not really. I feel like she turned more like model-esque. I don't know if I can really fix that much. I don't know. Does she look like herself? I don't know. Do we think it's the nose? She had a heavily upturned nose. Maybe it's that. Based on the way that I drew it. I think so. I think it's her. You know, that can be her. We're gonna say it's her. Dang. How much more can I do? Also, this is the angle before and after. She kind of shifted. It always happens. As I tried to correct. Isn't that crazy? Like, this is the face before and afterwards. It actually looks like a face. Wild to me. Same thing with him. I believe I saved it. What the heck? Craziness. Clients really have full faith. Especially if they've worked with me before, they know. I'm like, it's gonna look crazy for a second, but I swear. It's gonna turn out fine. Okay, hold on. It kind of looks like she's going this. Now we can do everything else. Whoa, the hard part is over. Now I can pull out the rough pen and just go for it, you know? Ooh, hello, bonjour, ça va? Are you having okay weather over there in France? Because we are having crazy weather. Crazy. Crazy. That's good. I'm glad you're doing well. And then if you can't tell what the weather is, then maybe your room is not freezing cold, which is good. Because sometimes I wake up here and I'm like, why is it so cold? Dang. And then you know already, you're like, oh man. Guess it's not a day where I can just walk out in a t-shirt. I hate that. Except I went shopping the other day and we're having really intense weather. And we saw somebody in shorts. And like on one hand, we're like shocked that somebody's outside in shorts. And then on the other hand, we're like, yeah, what did we expect? It's Canada. So like, of course there's somebody in shorts. 5 blankets? That's hot. That's too much. For me, too much. I'd be sweating. However, my dogs really like to hog literally any blanket anywhere. So I have like 2 blankets and like 2 dogs, you know? Well, more like the one dog because one kicks the other one off. Claimed territory. Never too many blankets. Yeah, my couch is like that though. Lots of blankets. You can never get too cozy. Oh, but I have to ask, this is the important question, for real. Are you the type of person to wear socks to sleep? Now that's the real question. Because it gets really hot. So, I don't know. On the fence with that one. Sometimes. No. I feel like I go to bed wearing them and I wake up not wearing them. So I think like the answer is no. But I'll wear them. So this is a life hack for you. If you have really bad weather where it's cold and dry, your feet will get really dry. And if you want to avoid that, you can wear lotion. This is a sensory nightmare. You can wear lotion and wear socks, so then you don't rub them off and it actually absorbs overnight. However, it does feel pretty awful. It works, but it's awful. But it's a desperate case scenario usually. Because if you're doing that, chances are your skin is like really mad at you. You can also do it with your hands, but like who's wearing gloves to sleep, right? That's crazy. That's Canadian. I don't think I've worn gloves to sleep necessarily. I don't think so. Unless camping counts. But that's different. That's a different thing. I was meaning to use a rough brush, but then... See, yeah, when you're ready to sleep, you pull them off. But then, when I swear, for me, I did not pull them off while I was conscious, you know? They came off. I wake up and I'm like, huh, what happened? I've also been told that I move aggressively in my sleep. And I kick. Clearly my feet are doing something. Fighting off demons in my sleep. But then, when I was a kid, I had this fear, and to this day, I can't not have covers over my feet. It's the fear of like somebody grabbing your feet and dragging you off. And now I'm like, no, they'll take me away. I need to. They can't take me if I'm covered. It doesn't make any sense. If they're gonna take me, they just roll me up in a burrito and then pick me up and like go, you know? I don't think I need to see this side for now. Yeah. See, that if you are sleeping with, like, if you're shared sleeping, then what can you do, right? You can't really move. Apparently, I do kick. I still kick. My poor dogs. They're really not about it. And they growl at me too. I just don't wake up. Apparently, I'm a relatively heavy sleeper. That's pretty funny. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I'm in slumberland, la sleepy land. I don't have any responsibilities over there. No responsibilities to you. Oh, do you talk in your sleep? Oof. Now, if somebody around me talked in their sleep, I would immediately pull out. I would start recording. I wouldn't do anything with it, but I would just show them it the next day and be like, did you know? What the heck were you dreaming? Do you remember? What was that about? My dogs do run and bark in their sleep though. That's pretty funny. But nobody in my house talks to themselves. That would be really funny though. I apparently answer things half asleep though. So, like, if somebody was to ask me like, hey, can you do this later? I'll be like, yeah, no problem. What do you need it by? Yeah, I got it. I don't remember this conversation at all, which is dangerous. Like, yeah, I'll be up for my doctor's appointment. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm not awake. I'm not actually awake. I'm just responding. That's how much I love sleep. I've developed a way to avoid waking up. Not great. It's awful, actually. It's... Ooh. Who knows? Maybe you're making spells. You're doing spells. Casting spells? Why? I can't find the verb. Casting spells in your sleep. No memories? Yeah. Could be a nightmare, don't remember. I have some wild nightmares and then I'll wake up and I'm like, dude, what the heck? I did not enjoy that. That was not cool. But not often. Very rare. I originally was gonna make this transparent, but now that I'm thinking about it, probably better not to, because this would make it more easy for my client to use. If it was transparent, right? And they changed the background. That would be a crazy curse. Man, I would hope that if I could do like spells in my sleep or something, I would say something like, and I'm manifesting so that I can get some sales. Please, as an artist, send me money. Oh man, would be nice. Some affirmations. Give me something. Yeah, but now it's becoming like regular. I don't want it to be. These are very poofy. These are very poofy. For hair, definitely I will use this brush here. Easier. Skin, I want to use like the softer brush because then otherwise it makes your skin look rough. Like you don't wear moisturizer and you didn't wear socks to sleep, you know? So that's not what we need. Do we think this girl wears socks to sleep? Can we cast this judgment on a stranger? That would be a really funny thing to say to somebody. You go up to somebody and you tell them, like, hey, you look like the type of person to wear socks to sleep. Is that an insult? Is that a neutral response? I don't know. Enjoy your breakfast. Thank you so much for stopping by. Goodness gracious. Oh, actually, speaking of the weather earlier, apparently, I checked, it's going to be like negative 27 degrees. On Friday? One of the days. I don't remember if it was tomorrow or Friday, but it's going to be some crazy number. Sad, because I really like going on walks, but I can't anymore. And, you know, artists, I don't think we exercise enough. Because we sit concentrating for a really long time. I don't think a lot of us get up enough. But I can't go on a walk now. Can't even go on a walk. It's actually quite depressing. Really. It affects my mood more than I thought it would. Not being able to go outside. I want to be a plant. Let me photosynthesize, please. It looks a little bit too structured. I'm gonna make it like sloppier. like there was another character. Ah, it was the last stream that I had. I was drawing Tara and I gave her like a frilly apron. I drew frills recently. Honestly, this part kind of annoying for me to draw. I don't know why I don't like drawing it, even though I add it every time. I drew like everything else and then I was like, ugh, guess I'll draw that part. Like, I don't know. It actually should be bunched up here, no? Yes. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense as how this is connected. I'm gonna do it in this color, but I'll probably change the color afterwards. Okay. Like that. That way, the wrist makes, unless I do it like this. I think it makes more sense for it to be like almost like a peasant style. Because it's the darkest color, I can lighten it afterwards. I also was planning on adding like lace, but I think I gotta do that a separate layer with an effect, so it's faster. You see what I mean by my close-ups are actually really messy? Look at this. But like, I don't mind it that way. As long as the client doesn't mind it. It would be nice if this had like a texture. Like it's a thicker fabric. Because right now it looks kind of like rubbery. In fact, I think this area, the fabric shouldn't be so bunched up. It's more like it's bunched up here. Makes sense on the other side because it's getting twisted. Get that out. I'm adding like texture like crazy, and then I'm gonna try and soften it later. Otherwise, too much texture is a bit much. I had a teacher tell me that one time. Went overboard with the texture. It'd be nice to make it almost like it's like a swishing dress, just moving. Make this so flat. This is like the rough render pass, and then afterwards I go over it and then clean it. Otherwise it's gonna take me forever. Figure out what's going where. I think the wrinkles would be less pronounced because less fabric getting pushed this way. Middle's too much shine, I think, still. I am not working on those boots right now. I do not want to. I'm just not going to do that right now. Here. also supposed to have lace here, but I think I could trace it for now and then add it afterwards. If it's too loose over here, it doesn't make sense because then it would literally fall off of her. So I need to make it more contained. Contain your flounce, ma'am. Maybe you wouldn't see the bottom half of it, just because this is like folding over here. This part is kind of most not concerning the trickiest part, because I want this part for her hand to look good next to his face, but she also has this like fancy ruffle going on, so gotta flip it so it doesn't touch him, so we can still read his face. So it doesn't touch him. Oh, scary. Blouses. I am going to... Well, first of all, I'm going to resize her foot because what is going on here? Why is one foot so big and then one foot so tiny? What the heck? I find like a happy medium here because dang, girl. That out later. And I'm gonna really quickly do like a little bit on her hair and then I'm gonna flip and do his hair for like a bit. I'm gonna use a rough brush for sure, but I'm just trying to figure out the color placement. In order to make her hair like white, I made it actually like absorb the colors around. Alright, real quick, I'm gonna do his hair. And then we'll do a little overview. I feel like I could work on this longer today, but I'm hungry. And you shouldn't keep working, Chris. Arvin. So... see how far I can get his hair. Oh, first. Excuse me? This song is like perpetually stuck in my head. When I hum out and about, this is the song that I... It actually should be like this, voluminous bit. This side I feel like doesn't need that much. And detail. Good. Or far, maybe I have to oh this one. And that's them together for now. For now. There's still a lot more polishing up to do. And I would stream longer, but I'm feeling the hunger pangs and I'm like, I can't concentrate anymore. I feel like he's not perfectly looking at her yet, but with like highlights and things. I think also her contrast is a little bit off, which might be why she doesn't look like her original. Or the original, the first time that I did it. I think her lashes could be much darker. See, that's how you know I'm hungry. Need a break. Yeah. We actually did quite a bit. Working on their faces took like a good second, but let's look at them for prosperity. Prosperity, both. I think they look pretty good. Up close, they look great. From afar, I think they need some contrast to fix so we can actually see what's going on. It's hard to see. And then I had 2 different files because I felt like just in case something goes wrong. We don't want that. So this is actually what they were before I started painting. And what they are now. See? So that's what their faces were. And da-da-da-da! Now. So pretty! Woohoo! Okay. Sorry for the stream being a little bit late today, or starting a little bit late. And sorry for it ending a little bit early. Today was a little bit, again, I played too many video games. Don't do that. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. I will be streaming again tomorrow, and we will be back to our regularly scheduled streams. I think I'm continuing the Avatar stickers. So if you like Avatar, come watch me draw the gang. But this one I will work on off stream. I just wanted to show off how I'm currently doing my commissions, just in case people who are interested in my commissions, they have an opportunity to see what I'm doing. All right. Stay warm. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.